This is a production of PBS Charlotte.
Tonight on a special Carolina Impact Taking Care of You. 55 million people in our country will be 65 or older by 2020. What does retirement look like for you?
I feel that I should live independently as long as I possibly can.
When do families start the tough conversations about aging? What do you need to know, and how should you prepare?
You really don't know what you're going to do. You know, start visiting assisted living places. You don't even know your father's doctor's phone numbers.
What about when you have a plan that's working, then a new diagnosis forces change?
When she started losing her words, it was like, I couldn't think of anything sadder for her to lose.
Lessons to learn for all of us. We have important information for you and your family. Our special Taking Care of You Carolina Impact starts right now.
Carolina Impact, covering the issues, people, and places that impact you. This is Carolina Impact.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett. 10,000 baby boomers turn 65 today and every day for the next 15 years. By the year 2035, seniors will outnumber kids in our country. This impacts all of us. And tonight, we offer some insights and solutions. If you're caring for your parents, or if your kids are caring for you, or if you're a couple caring for each other, then you know that getting older has its challenges. Well, as parents, we take care of our children. And then as we age, sometimes the child takes care of the parent. And life seems to come full circle. And that process can be absolutely heartbreaking. Carolina Impact's Jason Terzes introduces us to a woman many of us know as a popular radio personality in town. But there's another side to this daughter and her mom.
107.9 The Link, Charlotte's best mix. Matt and Ramona, Pat and Oswald, tickets in a bit. Chance to meet Lizzo at 4:30. Ramona.
It's one of Charlotte's most popular radio shows.
It's #1 in everything.
The Matt and Ramona Show, weekday afternoons on 107.9 The Link.
If you are a person who stacks your dishes to store them between meals, then you should be the person who is washing the bottom of your dishes.
If you listen to the show, it's so fun. It's so current.
Matt Harris and Ramona Holloway, along with producers Brent Bandy O'Brien and Carrie Doc Bowser, feature a mix of adult contemporary music and some goofy banter, usually on the most random of subjects.
I can't tell you the last time I hand-washed a plate.
I've hand-washed a plate before, like...
Listen to you, Mr. First World.
Ramona was recognized 3 times by Charlotte Magazine as the city's best radio personality, but off-air, her life is quite different.
Nothing prepared me for it. Nothing.
79-year-old Louise Glover, known as Wheezy, is Ramona's mother.
She was a French and Spanish teacher for over 40 years.
In the early 2000s, while still teaching in Ohio, Wheezy began having health issues, starting with disc issues in her back.
She's had 3 back surgeries. She'd really lost all of her fine motor skills in her fingers.
Each Friday after wrapping up her shift, Ramona would head straight to the airport and hop on a flight to Columbus.
I'd stay there all weekend, cleaning, laundry, grocery shopping, and then Monday morning, I catch the 6 a.m. flight back here.
She did the weekend shuttle for 6 months before finally giving Mom a choice, move into assisted living or come to Charlotte.
After a lot of persuasion, she somewhat reluctantly decided to move.
Ramona quickly got Wheezy acclimated, taking her to all sorts of events around town.
37 mother-daughter look-alike duos are going to compete at the Southern Women's Show.
Ramona assumed that the worst was over. Turns out, though, it was only just beginning.
But then about 5 years ago, it really hit me that, the back isn't our problem. Our major problem is her mind.
That light bulb moment happened one night while out to dinner at one of Wheezy's favorite restaurants.
And she loved to go to this fish camp because she loves their crab cakes. And I said, I don't even know why I'm looking at the menu. I know what I'm getting, and I know what you're getting. And she said, what? And I thought she was joking. I said, you're getting the crab cakes. And she said, do I like crab cakes? I mean, that question, I can still hear it. I can still see the expression on her face. It punched me in the gut. And then stuff started to make sense. wow, we've got a problem.
The diagnosis? Unspecified dementia, something that unfortunately runs in the family.
And my grandfather had dementia.
She hired some part-time help, but as Wheezy's condition deteriorated, she eventually needed constant care.
Now, I don't feel comfortable leaving her alone in the house at all.
This spring, Ramona hired a recent college grad, Saya Casey, who lives with them rent-free. In exchange, Saya makes meals and watches after Wheezy when Ramona is out.
So this was a win-win. She needed a place to live, we needed more help.
Wheezy does remember some things and always makes time to watch her beloved Ohio State Buckeyes.
Go Bucks!
But she can't remember if she fed the dog.
She doesn't realize this poor dog already ate. He ate an hour ago.
The ability to remember current events, cook, and the names of most people are also slipping away.
What am I eating today? What am I wearing today? Where am I going today? Who's coming over today? And once you answer those questions, they're coming at you again in a half an hour. And I try to be patient because she doesn't know that she just asked that same battery of questions.
But perhaps worst of all, Wheezy is losing her ability to find the right words.
I have quite a nice little, I didn't before have it, but when I got here and started doing,
Place to keep all
I had, yes, and I have them portfolios, yes.
Words are so important to her. So when she started losing her words, it was like, I couldn't think of anything sadder for her to lose.
But play an old classic song, and Wheezy will sing right along with every word.
Don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
So how is it someone can forget so many things, but somehow remember the words to decades-old songs?
Music resides in a place in the brain that is not normally affected by Alzheimer's or dementia.
3 days a week, Wheezy goes to the Ivy Memory Healthcare Center in South Park.
It's really a brain health club.
At first I was like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna like it here. Then it's like, okay, we're gonna give it a try.
The Ivy organizes all sorts of brain-stimulating activities like painting and singing. And Wheezy, oh, she loves to sing.
Whatever will be, will be.
But perhaps the biggest thing the Ivy does is give the primary caregiver a break.
This is really a whole family disease and really requires a whole family solution, and we're part of that family.
Dementia is one of the few diseases that is harder on the caregiver than the patient.
Ramona is an only child, divorced with no children of her own. Her mother's care is all on her.
It breaks my heart for people who don't have a me.
The one thing Ramona has gotten used to over these last 5 years is constant change.
When she has like this flash of greatness, this light bulb that goes off, that's like, wow, I can't believe you remembered that. Wow, you go, girl. Like that next week, it's like there's a drop.
Working full-time while also taking care of her mother, combined with all the logistics and expenses, is understandably taking its toll.
This year was tough to do the mother-daughter look-alike contest because there was a part of me that said, this is probably our last one. And if I stay in that mind space, it takes me down. Every single day, you wake up and tell God how grateful you are for what she remembers today.
Keeping all this private would be the understandable and easy thing to do, but Ramona decided to openly talk about it on air. She's hoping that by sharing her story, it will help someone, anyone, who's going through the same thing she is. For Carolina Impact, I'm Jason Terzis reporting.
Thank you so much, Ramona, for sharing that heart-wrenching story with us. It's one many of us can relate to. Well, some folks are lucky and still have their health and wealth, and that makes aging a little easier. But when you struggle with medical problems, financial problems, or both, then planning for your golden years means making very difficult choices. Carolina Impact's Jeff Saunier introduces us to seniors who believe the best retirement is simply living the way they always have.
Yeah, every week these seniors line up for lunch here at Sharon Presbyterian Church. This week's menu, hot roast beef, mac and cheese, chocolate pudding, sounds good. But a hot meal together isn't the only thing that this group shares.
I feel that I should live independently as long as I possibly can. It enables me to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Yep, in their golden years, these seniors are all still living on their own, not in a retirement home or a nursing home, but in their own home sweet home.
We're fortunate in that we're healthy. We can still be at home.
Well, it gives me more independence, and also I'm with neighbors who are close by.
Our hope is that as long as we are able, we will stay in our home. We have children in town too, which makes a big difference.
And this big lunch, plus these classes offered here by Shepherd Center of Charlotte, well, that's their way of keeping in touch.
Join hands, circle left,
and staying active.
From number 1 up at the top of that first page.
Learning new stuff and relearning old stuff.
Most of them are women, and most of them are widows, and most of them live alone. And so they really want the fraternity, the getting to know people, the opportunity to meet with friends.
Wayne Felton came out of retirement to lead the Shepherd Center Senior Program.
Hello. Good to see you. How are you?
So he knows what these fellow seniors are going through.
You expect in retirement that you'll just be able to sit on the back porch, and so they really don't have that social network that they did.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for always supporting us.
So you're giving them an opportunity simply to have what they've always had that they don't have anymore.
That's right. Yeah. To build new friendships. Those small things are real challenges. If you don't drive any longer, that's a real challenge.
In fact, Wayne Felton's own retirement has challenges too.
My wife has Parkinson's.
Hold on, Clara, hold on.
What do the next 5 years look like for you?
Don't have a clue.
Come here, honey. Okay.
I always kind of had looked at the golden years as being the perfect stage of life. I'm sorry, I forgot my key.
But the Feltons are finding, like a lot of other independent seniors, that when your health changes, your plans to live at home can also change.
It is a big part, and it's totally unexpected. People have different symptoms. Mine are that I have these tremors, and I fall. I've had some terrible, terrible falls, and so I try not to ever go on stairs if possible. I like being independent, and I can't do that anymore.
Is this a house that you can stay in going forward?
We hope so. As Carolyn said, she only stays on the first floor. At some point, we may need to put a ramp in. Otherwise, I think it is. I mean, it's close to a grocery store, it's close to doctors' offices, the hospital, the emergency room is just, a mile away. So all of that is very good. If we were living in a assisted facility or something like that, we wouldn't have that much room. So positives and negatives.
And if you're a senior couple living at home, well, you also have to think about someday maybe living alone.
The Parkinson's is not going to go away. So it would be much, much, much more difficult if I were to die first, because Carolyn would need somebody around her.
And all of a sudden it's reality that I might not die first. And that really is a frightening thought to me.
Whatever the future holds, we don't know.
You need to be flexible. Don't plan anything definitively, because it may or may not happen. And so be prepared to change course.
That's the same advice Wayne Felton offers the seniors in the Shepherd Center Monday Lunch Group.
I think because every individual, as they age, encounter different things. Some are blessed with good health until they're 95. Courses change as you get older.
The same advice that many of the still active, still connected, still independent seniors in their golden years are already following.
Oh yeah, I can see that something might happen, that you would need the assistance that's available in retirement homes. We're not to that point yet.
And the main thing is getting to know new people and getting acquainted with them.
My health is excellent. I can drive. I've got transportation. I've got people I can call on if I need them. So I personally would like to be carried out feet first from my condo, but if they can't do that, then I'll end up going somewhere else.
By the way, the Shepherd Center's been offering these kinds of activities and learning programs and fellowship to independent seniors here in Charlotte for almost 40 years. Now, the church provides the space for free, but the Shepherd Center also offers advice on things like navigating Medicare or picking the right drug program, even help for your taxes. It's the kind of advice that independent seniors can really use to help stay independent.
Thanks so much, Jeff. We have more information about the Shepherd Center and other resources coming up a little later on in tonight's program. Well, have you and your family thought about when to have the conversation about retirement years? Experts recommend when a parent is 70 or a child is 40, whichever comes first. But sometimes life calls the shots and that conversation doesn't happen, especially when you're busy raising a young family of your own. Carolina Impact's Todd Wallace has more.
If you hang out with Gus and Carol Walton on just about any Saturday morning, you'll understand why Carol says the nonstop pace is more like
It's controlled chaos. I guess right here.
They start the day by eating breakfast at Tryon House on East Exmoor Street in Charlotte. Gus says for the kids, it's already a tradition.
Like during the week, they'll say, eggs and grits, and we're like, no, that's Saturday. And
the boys are very young. Wade is 3.5, and twins Wesley and Johnny are just 2. So after breakfast, they of course have to let off a little steam.
We get our wiggles out after breakfast.
Hop back in the van.
What are you doing?
I'm taking your picture.
And then head to their next stop, the grocery store. Then it's back home.
You want to take them bananas?
To put the groceries away.
Here, you can carry this one.
And squeeze in a quick break.
Wade helps me keep an eye on the other ones, don't you, bud?
All of this back and forth before noon, and the trips are not over yet.
It's a lot of coming and going on a Saturday morning, isn't it, boys?
Driving around with 3 children under the age of 5 to breakfast, then the grocery store, and then back home for a little playtime would by anyone's definition be a busy Saturday morning. But believe it or not, Carol says the most challenging stop is the one that comes next.
Where's Coach? Do you see Coach on the wall? Where's his picture? Can you find Coach? Where is he? Right there!
Coach is Carol's dad, and every Saturday morning, after breakfast and all of those errands, the family stops by to visit him at his retirement care facility, Waltonwood Cotswold in Charlotte. For the boys, it's everything. After all, what child wouldn't love a visit with Granddad, sitting outside, eating ice cream, or wearing it, and playing in the fountain? For Carol, it's so much more.
Well, it's everything. I mean, our lives are crazy in terms of schedule during the week, and it's hard to find times to get together.
But life changed for her father, Larry, in a devastating and painful way this year when he lost his second wife and Carol's stepmom, Betty, to cancer.
And when she died, it was terrible. But then weeks and months afterward, that house meant nothing to me.
Larry didn't want to stay in his house, but he also couldn't stay, at least not alone. Betty's care for him disguised Larry's cognitive decline, especially with short-term memory.
He couldn't tell you if he ate breakfast that morning sometimes, and he couldn't tell you if he'd taken his medicine.
Suddenly, Carol and her siblings were thrown into a world of uncertainty.
Well, we had to figure out, what we needed in terms of care.
The process was overwhelming. Carol's sister Louise is a doctor and often took the lead in determining care for their father. He even lived with her for a short time. But eventually, Louise's co-worker suggested getting a care coordinator.
We offer a free consultation where we come and we meet face-to-face, if possible, with children, family members, friends, whomever may be concerned, and the person who's facing some challenges around care needs.
Cindy Hostetler is with Care Weavers. It's a growing industry where healthcare advocates find the best resources for older adults in need of care.
What we do is we draw up a plan of care and a recommendation for services that we think we can provide that will benefit the client and the family.
Those families, like Carol and Gus, are part of a growing trend in America called the sandwich generation, a middle-aged population supporting aging parents while also caring for their own children. The Pew Research Center reports nearly half of American adults in their 40s and 50s have a parent 65 or older and are either raising a young child or financially supporting a grown child. Healthcare coordinators work to remove a lot of that responsibility and stress by researching and asking the tough questions, like in Larry's case when he needed a place to live.
So for me as a nurse, one of the first things I want to look at is what does the quality of care look like at your facility? And how do I know that you're doing a good job?
Care coordinators may also accompany clients to doctor's appointments and provide companionship. Carol says it's been hard to see her father decline. Her kids call him Coach because he used to coach football. But he's also a Vietnam veteran, an author of 2 books, and a retired neurosurgeon. The experience has been so moving, she shared her feelings in a blog called Caregiving Goes Both Ways for Older Parents. And that hits close to home for Carol and Gus, who had their children later in life. She wants others to learn from her experience that aging parents must be transparent with their children about their health.
It really does help for them to help prepare their children and for them to have their ducks in a row, even to the smallest detail.
Carol is doing the best she can handling this delicate balance between 2 generations.
And he's at the end in his mind, but for me, for my boys, it's just the beginning. And we want it to last as long as it can, as comfortably as it can.
And while Larry focuses on this next generation, a healthcare coordinator has removed a lot of the stress for Carol and her siblings, which has made it easier for her to focus on being a mom and a daughter. For Carolina Impact, I'm Todd Wallace reporting.
Thanks, Todd. Well, there's no rolling back the clock, but staying active with exercise can make all the difference. You might be a lifetime athlete, or it's never too late to start exercising after retirement. Carolina Impact's Bea Thompson shares some practical advice from those doing it.
You got to do something. And I think the moment you start to, you change your life.
Oh, I think it's very important. My husband works out all the time at the Y, and this is all I do.
Our bodies really thrive when we move.
Candace was a professional dancer. April, the lifetime swimmer. And Barbara's the grandparent who's always been active. Take a look at the faces of How to Age and Stay Healthy. All have recognized how movement and exercise can improve their overall health.
2 steps to one side, 2 steps to the other.
While there's no slowing down the clock, exercising will extend their lives and minimize their health issues.
I think that we know it, but we don't think that it could happen to us.
If there ever was a magic bullet for everything, physical activity and being in shape is that magic bullet. Take a deep breath in and out.
As an internal medicine and geriatric specialist, Dr. Oriaku sees senior patients whose health is impacted by their lack of movement. And he points out to them that the combination of what they eat and do writes the book on how they age.
Did we start exercising yet?
In the aging population, studies show exercise helps prevent disease, lowers the risk of falls, improves mental health and well-being, strengthening social ties, and improving cognitive function.
Physical activity, like we know, helps you control your weight, helps control your blood pressure, helps control your cholesterol, the same things that get more relevant or more prevalent as we get older.
For Candace, the professional singer, dancer, and artist, the decision to lose weight caused this 50-something to lose movement in her legs, prompting her to relearn how to move and then teach others how to do so through yoga.
You have to shift your mindset to change the body. You have to want to do something different. If you don't want to be in a chair, stuck in a chair, you don't want to feel old, you have to do something different.
For the active grandparent who is an avid walker and the preschool teacher who had knee surgery, one 4-letter word, yoga, became the exercise bridge they crossed.
When I go home after yoga, I might come in feeling But when I go home, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling really pretty good. So it helps to strengthen you.
It's almost like swimming. You use every part of your body. I feel that I'm stronger overall. And then mentally, I think I'm stronger.
Breathe in, exhale, pull.
These seniors have jumped right in, and the pool exercise sessions are going swimmingly. The health experts point out that this type of movement is easier on the joints, and it shows.
I see seniors becoming a lot more confident in their abilities. I see them reducing their pain because they're strengthening their muscles and relieving the stress on their joints.
This class includes seniors of all ages, including a 96-year-old gentleman, all of whom want to improve the overall quality of their lives, like April Stolmack, who's been swimming for almost 4 decades.
And when I see other seniors that can't seem to move, or with walkers or canes or limping or something like that, I wonder, how old are they and why are they not doing water aerobics?
So let your bodies relax. Feel your muscles settle in.
The National Institutes of Health and the National Institute on Aging confirm what doctors know. The more physically active you are, the longer you live, and the better quality of life you have.
As we all age, there's no telling what challenges we will all face as we get older. So challenges will come, but the important question is, how do you deal with your challenges?
Down and up, warming up those obliques.
So when to start? The good doctor says start where you are, and walking is a great beginning. And in case you were wondering about these folks who do exercise and their ages, well, this group includes a 50-something dancer yoga instructor, a 60-something preschool teacher, a 70-something swimmer, and an 80-something active grandparent. So what do you say to that?
Namaste.
Here's to your health. For Carolina Impact, I'm Beatrice Thompson reporting.
Thanks so much, Bea. We discovered a lot of information that we couldn't squeeze into tonight's show, so we've created a special page on our website as a virtual toolkit. Head to pbscharlotte.org/takingcareofyou to find it. There's information about our area's Agency on Aging. There's a planning guide for families by AARP. We've also found North Carolina's reference guide for continuing care retirement communities. We have information about the Shepherd Center, as well as the 3 senior centers in Charlotte, and the personal care manager. There's also the exercise classes for seniors at the YMCA. We hope you'll use the information to create a plan that allows you and your family to enjoy life. This isn't the end of our conversation. We're making a commitment to continue to share information in our ongoing Taking Care of You series on Carolina Impact. But that's all we have time for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We always appreciate your time. And we look forward to seeing you back here again next time on Carolina Impact. Good night, my friends.
Production of PBS Charlotte.